Welcome to Ken's Corner Podcast, Season 2. It's time. Are you ready? Now here we go with your host, Ken Judge.
Hey everyone, this is Ken from Ken's Corner, and tonight I got a very special guest coming from Florida, but I do want to get something out here. I messed this up a couple of times. I'm not going to do it again. Jacques Rougeau's Wrestling Academy 2023 is co-done by QT Marshall from AEW. I had to get that out, and now we can move on. My special guest tonight is Mr. John Strange. He is a professional wrestler, and I believe he's based out of Florida right now, and I do believe he actually wrestles in Tennessee as well. Am I right, sir?
Yes, I've been up and down the East Coast for the past 26 years, off and on. So I got started at a very young age, at the age of 15, wrestling, and years catch up, I guess, after time. So, you're pretty much on point right there. Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana, all those areas have been in.
What kind of wrestling do you consider your style?
I'm not like most people. I consider my style very unique. I'm 240 pounds and I can do lucha moves with these. But you want to fight, we can fight. I mean, I really don't have no problem to bang heads either. So I'm a universal kind of guy, I guess.
What is your ring name?
Insane John Strange.
Thank you, sir. Now, I want to ask you a couple of questions. I know that you wrestle also in Tennessee. Now, the question is, what is the difference between wrestling out of Florida and wrestling in Tennessee, if there's any?
Uh, in between the different regions, I would say Florida's more based off of the production and the TV value, and the the older area of the Memphis territory in Tennessee and Kentucky are pretty much based on the fan interaction. So, I mean, that's probably the huge difference. Um, the styles are totally different too, though. If you want to break it down, it seems to be more technical and drug out in the Tennessee and Kentucky area. Florida's more a high pace, high impact moves, and I mean, just to put it simple. But we could go all day about getting in technical about what the differences are. But really, overall, wrestling's wrestling. Anywhere you go, from Canada to Florida to Mexico, anywhere, it's still the same thing. I mean, in my opinion.
Thank you, sir. It's nice that you actually mentioned Canada, because my next question is about our Canadian boy, Magnum McLaren. Do you have any interactions with Magnum and his partner, Dr. Jimmy Mack?
Uh, there's actually talks about me coming to Canada in May right now, taking place. We've been all over it today. We're trying to work out the details, but I think me and Jimmy Mack may be making a flight up here pretty soon to join Magnum and partake in some fun in Canada. So we'll have to see, though. That's not 100% full yet, but it's there. Um, yeah, I mean,
I'll be sure to be there when that happens, sir. Ken's Corner Podcast will be in attendance.
Yes, please do show up, because if there's anything about me at all, when I show up, all kinds of chaos takes place. I promise you that. I'm a chaotic person to be around. I'm wild and crazy. Probably the wildest and craziest guy you ever been around. Instant.
That says something, because I've been around a few crazies. Thank you, sir. My next question is, do you have any road stories that you can share with us?
I don't know if they're legally I can talk about any of them. What do you want to hear, man? What do you want to hear about?
Just a good story on the road with maybe you're traveling with another wrestler. Any good stories? Any good interactions? any arenas that you enjoy wrestling out of?
All right, I got a good road story. But it's not really even a road story. It was pretty much a story about the time I thought I was going to die in professional wrestling, and it turned out totally a different way than it was. Jimmy Mack calls me up. He goes, "I got this show, but it's a private show." And honestly, we're about to do the second part of this show this year, so it should be interesting. Calls me up. He goes, "I got this show. I need another match in it. You want to come and do it?" I was just like, "Sure, Jimmy. What's the pay? Blah blah blah." And then I was like, "Why are you having such trouble getting people on this show?" And he was like, "Well, it's for a biker gang, and it's the one percenters, and most of them want it for murder." And I was like, "Jimmy," I was like, "I agree to it, but I'll take your judgment." He goes, "All will be fine." And we get to this show, and we're surrounded by bikers. There's like 400 bikers at this show, and there's like 8 pro wrestlers, and we're like, we're all gonna die. These are guys that's been in hardcore criminal situations, and I was like, we're gonna die. And well, we start a show. They get straight into it, and I'm the main event, and I'm in a hardcore like ordeal. So I was like, fine, I'll go out there and I'll just do my thing. Well, I do my thing. It goes wonderful. The crowd eats it up, and the gang eats it up. And then they're like, "Hey, we don't do this for a lot of people, but you guys want to come and hang with us in our clubhouse," which is weird because they don't let nobody in the clubhouse. They let us in, and they fed us, and we ended up having a great time. It turned out they was some of the nicest people on the planet, even though some of them was hardened criminals. And that's a quick road story, which we're about to do the second show of that coming up pretty soon. So.
That's great. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Zoom doesn't seem to be agreeing with us tonight, sir. There I go again. All right. I'm sorry. We're gonna go with your pretty face up and mine not.
I don't have a pretty face. I'm pretty ugly. You can tell me that.
I hear that, sir. Now, my next question is, how many championships has Insane John Strange won? And if so, can you remember your first?
I can remember my first, but I've had quite a bit over the years. My very first title I ever won was the light heavyweight title for a company called USA Main Event. And that company was the company that Hillbilly Jim was trained at. I had to guess titles because I've had tag titles, heavyweight titles. Oh, Jesus. I would go upward, somewhere in between 40, 45 titles over a 26-year period. And they're not like short reigns either. A lot of them was long-term reigns.
That's great. That's great. That's great to know. It's nice to know that I'm speaking to a champion, sir.
Currently, I have no titles. So I went through a process where I moved from the Kentucky area to Florida a couple years ago. And in my mind, I guess I was done with the wrestling. But then some activities took part that I ended up getting back toward the ring, and next thing you know, I'm on a circuit every weekend doing something.
That's great news. I'm really looking forward to seeing you come to Canada. I hope that comes to fruition, sir.
Well, we're working out the details. We'll see what takes place.
Thank you. Now, my last question for you is your social media outlets. Where can your fan base find Insane John Strange?
At Insane John Strange, at pretty much any social platform there is.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm going to try and turn on the video for one last second. I've been here today on Ken's Corner with Mr. John Strange, Mr. John Insane Strange, professional wrestler. Thank you, sir, for being on today.
You're welcome, brother.
You have a great night.